It is said that only the person who wears the shoe knows where and how it pinches. The security situation in Kaduna State comes to mind. According to the state government, about 446 persons were killed, while 1,789 others were abducted within 6 months in the state. This was contained in the security reports presented to Governor Nasir El-Rufai by the State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan. Governor El-Rufai, who spoke on the reports, said efforts are ongoing to improve security in the states. Let's share the story by TVC News' Lupa Asom with you.
Members of the Kaduna State Security Council have gathered to receive the security report for the second and third quarter. It is presented by Kaduna State's Internal Security Commissioner, Samuel Aruwan.
We lost 285 lives. 985 were kidnapped. We moved to third quarter. 161 citizens were killed. You can see total is 804.
This brings the total number of persons killed to at least 440, while over 1,700 others were kidnapped, with Kaduna Central Zone the most hit. Military offensive against bandits also yielded positive results. Several bandits were killed by ground and air strikes as troops raided their camps. At least 27 bags of fertilizer meant to be used in the production of improvised explosive devices were also seized, according to the commissioner. Governor Nasir El-Rufai lends his voice in support of the DSS director's alarm that insecurity in the Northwest may disrupt the 2023 general elections.
We have identified that there's threats around the airport, which is being addressed, but we need to sustain it. We are likely to be challenged by political trouble. It's a thing that we really need to prepare for. The little thing we have seen, which is just the beginning, is an indication that there's a lot to be done.
We need to profile political actors, map their thugs, and bring them to justice before the elections.
Reacting to security alerts issued by the United States Embassy in October, Nigeria's Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed said it terrorized Nigerians and set the nation on panic mode. He then reiterated the unwavering confidence the federal government has in its intelligence agencies' capability to effectively gather and promptly act on intelligence to forestall attacks.
Whatever has been the intention of this security alert or this travel advisory, what it has done is that it has terrorized our people and it has set the nation in a panic mode.
Other security officials called for the sensitization of citizens on the need to support security agencies with timely information. Lupe Asom, TVC News, Kaduna.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, I'd like to commend Governor Nasir El-Rufai in terms of quarterly update of this, especially by Sam Aruwan. They were always giving us a kind of update, and we know we can track what is happening in that area. And progress. It's quite commendable. But as we are moving gradually towards the election, next election, there are some areas that's like a no-go area in Kaduna State. How will INEC conduct election in those areas?
INEC will only conduct elections in areas that it deems safe. Before there was a primary election, and there was an off-season election in Bakura constituency in Zamfara State. INEC clearly stated the places that it would not send materials to. Because we know the places that are unsafe, where these boys have their camps and all that, and there's no guarantee that if you take
like in that southern part of that place, what they call the that area, that forest, Binigwari area.
Binigwari, yes. Like Binigwari now, those areas. No, people will think twice before going to even use the highway. You have to think twice. You must have two hearts.
To deliver sensitive materials.
You have two hearts and be willing to give up one of your hearts to travel through that Kaduna Binigwari roads. And the areas, the DSS director said, that area around the airport.
Yes,
yes. Afaka, all of those areas where they
like
picked up those students, those forestry students
yes,
the other day.
Yes.
Those places, because of the forests in those places, you know, it's difficult. So it's not Kaduna alone. When Governor Rufai was talking about the threat to the election, I'm sure he was talking about other places. You know, Katsina, Zamfara, you know, all these other places, even Borno State. The last two elections in Borno State have been held largely in the IDP camps, except in Maiduguri metropolis and places that are safe, like parts of southern Borno, like Biu. All those places are safe. The people of Biu never allowed Boko Haram to conquer them for one day. So the area is safe. They can do elections in those places. There are still many places where you think twice.
Is it that they are more armed or what? Or what they stand for? They resisted?
No, they resisted them. Slaughtered them many times. So they could not be, you could not be penetrated. But maybe some villages, you know, within the local government, they could attack some. But that Biu township, no, they couldn't get in. And they targeted, not that they didn't try. So now, you look at the number of people killed, 446 in 6 months, in one state, Ayo.
Reported.
One state. These are cases that have been reported. There are many cases that
underreported
will not even be reported at all. And 985 kidnapped in 6 months. Troops, during this period, I was looking for the number that the bandits that they killed. I was not really impressed with it. I would want to see more bandits killed than innocent civilians.
Yes.
You know? So we still have a lot of work to do, but everyone who is familiar with that area will admit that in the Kaduna area, there is some progress in terms of the war against these good-for-nothing boys. There is some progress in the Kaduna area. There is some progress, but we have to continue because once we relax a little bit, they are in Katsina. They can share border with Katsina, you know, through some local governments, and they will just come in into those states. They can come in from Niger into Kaduna as well. So we just have to sustain the momentum. Hearing 446 people killed in one state in 6 months, when there is we do not have an all-out war. I mean, it's depressing, to say the least.
These are reported cases.
Yes. And for the government was honest. The government was honest enough to even say this number of people. We hear about Jigawa, they say 91 people died in flood. Whereas, from what I'm hearing, a lot more people died in the flood in Jigawa than the 91 being quoted. It was grossly underreported.
We have a problem in this country.
Because GKB, at the end of the day now, when you look at, you know, banditry, Boko Haram, the insurgency in the northeast and banditry across north, Yes, we can say this government,
now, by the way.
yes, they've stepped up the momentum. That is not as bad as what it used to be.
Yes.
The situation.
The situation, like I said, it ebbs and it flows. And that to me is the danger. Because there will be periods that will have relative peace, and there will be other periods that they will pump up the volume, as it were. I just want to commend the Kaduna State government for being in the open. If other states are giving us these figures, maybe we can have a fair idea exactly the fatalities that we suffer and the number of people that are missing. But Nigeria has this ability to under-report bad news and over-report good news so that people will not think they are not working at all. But back to your question, I think what need to happen is what Jide said earlier, that we cannot rest on our hours and just make sure that these boys were eliminated. It has gone beyond the point of trying to negotiate. Right now, what we need to do, or what the governor needs to do rather, is to ensure that whatever gains they have, they can sustain in the next 6 months. Or else, we go back to the circle of being cold now, being hot later.
So, Jide, the situation, juxtapose it to what was happening a month ago.
I'm sure the figures will have been a lot worse. The rate of fatality is coming down. If you look at previous releases that were made by Samuel Arwan and these people, it's been going down. And it's the sustained attacks on these people in the Kaduna area that is yielding those dividends. The governor said that what should have been done a long time ago is what we are beginning to do. The push against those insurgents and the enemies of the state, the push is a lot harder now than that time. It was like we afforded them the luxury of roaming our forests and killing our people for fun. But now we've told them enough is enough. And in Kaduna, we are seeing the reward for the sustained offensive against these good-for-nothing people. So it has to continue. That's why I'm saying that it has to continue.
Look at other parts of the country. What's up with Lagos-Ibadan Express Road? What's the noise about Lagos-Ibadan Express Road?
No, well, the more you attack them in the northeast and north central and other places, they will come down. Tukano is serving justice to people in the northeast. Some of them are coming down here. They are already in Ondo State, because Ondo State is the major gateway to the southwest.
Ondo North.
You know, Ondo North. They are now there.
Hellish.
Those who kill people in the war, they are ISWAP members. You know, and they've been arrested.
And then there
has to be vigilance. The governors of the southwest, a lot of them are complacent. I don't know what the problem is. Apart from the governor of Ondo State and to a large extent, even I think the Osun governor too is trying with Amotekun. The rest of them take this Amotekun thing as something that they should not bother themselves about. You are watching as war is being brought to your door. You are being complacent. You are behaving like it doesn't matter.
Okay.
That's why now from this Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the busiest highway in our country that have been largely peaceful. Now they are beginning to attack us there. People can't travel freely again.